Hello, I'm Miss the S-Woman, and in this video, I will share 3 twists from the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy that blew my mind. If you clicked on this video, I assume you most likely know what this trilogy is. But in case you don't, the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy is a collection of visual novel adventure games that surround the protagonist Phoenix Wright, who is a defense lawyer, and his assistant Maya Fey, who is a spirit medium. They go through many trials and tribulations to get justice for all, and several unexpected events happen in their stories. I can't go over their entire journey in this video as it will be too much for me to handle, but I'm sure someone on YouTube has by this point. The 3 games in this trilogy are Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. You see what I did there, huh? But seriously, as the title of this video suggests, I want to discuss some story events across this trilogy that had me shook. I still think about them from time to time. I will say these events have been discussed in length, and if you know about Ace Attorney, you can probably guess what some of them are. I still want to talk about them though, because I have a burning desire to get these thoughts out of my head somewhere. So I'm gonna stop this intro and get into the twists. This is an obligatory spoiler warning. If you do not want several events of the Ace Attorney trilogy spoiled for you, I recommend that you click away now and watch this video later. Alright. Number 1. Acro ended the Ringmaster. This twist takes place in the case Turnabout Big Top from Justice for All. Now, this case is disliked by many Ace Attorney fans, and honestly, there are valid reasons for that being the case. But I won't do a deep dive into those reasons here. Instead, I'll link a good video I found in the description box that examines this case more thoroughly. Out of all the interesting characters in this case, I want to highlight Acro, the culprit. Acro is by far the most interesting character from this case to me, and I'm going to recap his story for context. According to the Ace Attorney Wiki, Acro's real name is Ken Dingaling. He has a younger brother named Sean Dingaling, and their stage names are Acro and Bat, which is what I'll be referring to them as for the remainder of this video. Acro and Bat were abandoned by their parents as children, and Russell Berry, the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, took them in. The brothers became acrobats in the circus to repay him. Fast forward some years, and Acro and Bat have aged up. Bat developed a crush on Regina, Russell's daughter, along with half of the circus apparently. The two started playing pranks on each other, and one day Regina decided to sprinkle pepper on a scarf and give it to Bat. This was in retaliation for Bat sprinkling pepper on Regina previously. Then, later during practice, Bat wears the scarf Regina gave him and bets that he can stick his head in Leon the lion's mouth. Unfortunately, when he tries to do so, Leon senses the pepper, sneezes, and causes a lot of brain damage to Bat, who ends up in a coma. Now, going back to Acro. When Leon hit Bat, Acro tried to save him and ended up with paralyzed legs. Russell then shot the lion and covered up the incident. It was a tragic situation. Now, Regina is not the brightest, and she didn't understand the severity of what happened. This really angered Acro, and he tried to offer with some plan that I could never fully understand, but I know it involves a bust and a monkey. However, he ended up offing Russell instead, and Phoenix eventually exposed him for it. I have several thoughts about Acro's story, and the main one is that I was not expecting him to be the murderer. I swore up and down that it was Regina when I first watched a Let's Play with this case in it because she just seemed a little too ditzy. But no, turns out she was really just that sheltered and naive. Meanwhile, Acro seemed so nice and like a breath of fresh air among the folks in this circus. It makes me think about how we perceive people. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, Acro is the disabled representation we need, but at least for me at the time, it showed me that physically disabled people don't automatically have innocence. I learned to stop infantilizing them in a way. That's all the thoughts I have about this twist for now, so let's move on to the next one. Number 2. Matt on guard is not innocent. Raise your hand if you're surprised. This is the twist that I'm expecting people to guess for sure. It takes place in the case Farewell My Turnabout, which is also from Justice for All, and unlike Turnabout Big Top, this is a beloved case. Again, for valid reasons. I need to talk about the character Matt on guard in this section, and there's so much that goes into him and his betrayal. Honestly, I don't think you will fully understand it unless you play or watch this case, but I will try to explain all the things to you anyway. So Matt Engarde is an action star in the Ace Attorney universe, known for playing the role of the Nickel Samurai. And honestly, he's just an a-hole. He does a lot of the trash things you hear about real-life celebrities doing. Matt dated his manager Celeste Impax until their relationship got leaked to the public, causing him to break up with her. Later, when he found out that his rival Juan Carita was planning to marry her, he told Carita that he dated her first because he knew it would hurt him. Carita called off the engagement, and unfortunately, a heartbroken Celeste Impax ended her life. Fast forward a couple of years, and Matt is beating Juan in popularity polls. Juan and Adrian Andrews, who was a mentee of Celeste and Matt's manager before his trial, conspired to reveal a quote-unquote note from Celeste, which Juan forged, to ruin his reputation. Matt felt threatened by Juan and purchased spy cameras to spy on him, and then hired a professional assassin named Shelly D. Killer to take him out. Matt tries to get away scot-free from Juan's murder, but Adrian, who's out looking for revenge, tampered with the crime scene to make him look guilty. So he gets arrested and hires the best legal defense he can get at the time, Phoenix Wright. And you know, Phoenix is gonna get to the truth, so he wants to expose Matt for all of this, but he can't at the time, because the assassin has kidnapped Maya. He says if Matt doesn't get an innocent verdict, then he will take Maya out. To make a long story short, with the help of Miles Edgeworth, Francisca Von Karma, and Detective Dick Gumshoe, Phoenix uncovered the fact that Matt secretly recorded the assassin off in Juan, which broke their contract. The assassin is naturally furious about this, and Matt realizes that he's screwed if he gets an innocent verdict, so he begs for a guilty one, and gets it. Learning about Matt's true nature was the epitome of mind-blowing for me, and I'm sure it was for a lot of you too. That moment of him showing his real self, I still get chills from it. Hey, this is me editing here, and I forgot to mention a crucial reason why Matt revealing his nature was mind-blowing, because up until this point, the series has convinced the player to trust all of Phoenix's clients with no doubt. This is like literally the first time that you are supposed to defend somebody that is in the wrong, that is the villain or whatever. So that just really breaks your brain and tests your spirit and, you know, tests what you will do in that moment. Back to the video now. This series does a great job of making you feel for its characters, even though you know that the main cast will be fine eventually. I mean, Maya alone goes through so much in this case. Seeing the inner workings of Phoenix's mind while he's trying to protect her is gut-wrenching. I don't have any more words I can use to explain the feels this case gives you, so I'll just move on to the next one. Number 3. Elise Stokesman was Misty Faye the whole time. Okay, so I do not know how to pronounce Dokesman, D-E-A-U-X-M-I-N. I literally looked up how to pronounce this word, and on Reddit, I saw that Doman was like the most popular version, but I looked it up on a how to pronounce website and they told me Dokesman, so we're just gonna go with Dokesman, and I hope that doesn't upset too many people. What can I say about Bridge to the Turnabout that hasn't already been said? It's an emotional case with all of our faves in this trilogy, and it brings the feels tenfold. I'm trying my best to be concise in this video, so out of the many things I could talk about regarding this case, I want to talk about the character Misty Faye. Misty Faye is Maya's mother, and I didn't mention this earlier, but Maya has an older sister named Mia, who had her life ended by a man in the first game, but helps Phoenix and Maya as a spirit throughout this series. Again, there's so much that goes into her story, and you'll have to look at the games to get it fully. But for the sake of explaining, Misty was a spirit medium the police hired to identify the person who caused Gregory Edgeworth's death. She did channel Gregory's spirit, but who Gregory thought ended his life was not who actually did so. So he says the wrong name to Misty, the court can't prove anything, and the Faye clan is disgraced. Misty then leaves her village and goes under the alias of a children's book author, Elise Stokesman. Fast forward some years and Phoenix and Maya are visiting the Hazuruka Temple because Maya's supposed to do some spirit training there, but of course, nothing can ever go normally for the two of them. So, as this video progresses, I keep needing to explain what happens in every case for context, and it just involves more and more characters, and there's just more and more stuff that I have to convey, and I just simply don't have the brain capacity to write it all out. So, my next go-to is, of course, a chart, which is what I have right now. All of the people that you are seeing on screen right now, and if you can't see the screen, I'm going to list off the people too, are related in some way to the Fae clan. So we're going to start with Maya, who I've been talking about a lot in this case. Maya is in the center, and she is a spirit medium who also works with Phoenix during his cases, right? So Maya's mother, to the right of her, is Misty, who I've also been talking about in this case, also currently at this point under the alias of a children's author named Elise, right? So, on the right side, on the top right, we have Morgan. Morgan is Misty's sister, I believe her older sister, who was supposed to be the leader of the Fae clan, but instead that role went to Misty. And that's why I put bitter in Morgan's description, because she's always been bitter about that and wanting to lead the Fae clan. And on the bottom left here, we have Pearl, who is Morgan's daughter and the cousin of Maya. And she's an innocent, good little girl. Doesn't try to get into trouble, but unfortunately, her mother manipulates her into causing some trouble, which I will get into. Now, on the left here, left center, we have Mia, who I've been talking about a little bit, but Mia is actually a major character in this series. She is Maya's older sister, who became a defense lawyer after Misty left the Fae clan to figure out what the heck happened with that case, and she became a really good one and Phoenix's mentor. So she ended up catching Dahlia, who is on the top left here, in her crimes, and I put evil cousin for Dahlia because she's the cousin or half cousin, something like that, of Mia and Maya here. And Dahlia is just out here causing all types of murder, poisoning people, that's the whole thing. So Mia exposes her in her act. That's why Dahlia has a grudge against Mia. I can't believe I didn't say this, but she is also Morgan's daughter along with Iris, who we are getting into right now. And last but not least on this chart, we have Iris here, who is Dahlia's twin sister. So Iris is still a good cousin at the end of the day, but she definitely aided Dahlia in some stuff, not in this current case, but before then, which is why I put Ish over there. And both Morgan and Iris ended up getting arrested for the crimes they committed. So I'm gonna try and explain this fiasco as concisely as I can. And I pray that you keep up with me. If I get anything incorrect, please correct me in the comments. So Maya, Pearl, and Phoenix, who is not pictured, go to a temple for Maya to do some spirit training, right? And the main reason why Phoenix went is to see Iris, who he actually dated some years back. Again, when I was talking about Dahlia being exposed, he thought that he was dating Dahlia, but in reality, Dahlia and Iris switched places. And Dahlia tried to poison Phoenix, and Mia exposed her for that, which is why that grudge is there, right? So Maya and Pearl arrive at the temple. Iris sees Phoenix, and she doesn't tell the whole story of knowing him, but she does let it slip that she knows who he is. And Morgan, right here, finds out about their plan to go to the temple. Or should I say, she found out beforehand because Pearl signed Maya up, and she wanted her and Phoenix to go, and she ships them. It's a whole thing. So Morgan found out, and she contacted Dahlia. And these two conspire to kill Maya, because Mia, unfortunately, is already dead from a murder. And that way, if Maya dies, then Pearl right here will be the next successor for the Fae clan. The Fae clan. So she comes up with this elaborate plan for Pearl to channel Dahlia's spirit to kill Maya. But another character named Godot, who is relevant later, finds out of this plan too, and he goes to warn Misty and Iris. So Misty channels Dahlia's spirit before Pearl can get to it, and Godot kills Misty, unfortunately, to get Dahlia's spirit out. And Iris is moving the body when Bikini, somebody at the temple, catches her and she gets arrested for murder. So Iris is arrested. At this point, we don't know where the heck Maya is. And when I say her, I mean Iris. Her and Dahlia actually end up switching places so that Dahlia can act innocent in court and pin the murder on somebody else. I feel like I didn't elaborate on this enough, so I'm going to do that right now. So, after Maya is saved from being killed by Dahlia, she goes and hides somewhere in the temple because obviously Dahlia is after her. So, she's trapped somewhere in the temple. There's a bridge to get to her, but the bridge fell off. And Iris is arrested. Upon further investigation in this case, Maya is trapped somewhere where a trick lock is. And it's a whole spiritual lock that you need those special powers to unlock. So Iris is released from jail, goes to quote-unquote unlock the trick lock. An earthquake happens and just everybody's distracted. So the lock is opened, and Dahlia, who is now in Maya's body because Maya sought out Mia for advice and Mia told her to channel Dahlia so that she can't kill her. And Dahlia basically forces Iris to switch places with her again and locks her up so she can pretend to be Iris in court and testify and screw over Maya's side of the family. Back to the video again. But I don't have time to get into the entire actual case. Just know that all of this gets exposed. Their convoluted plan gets exposed. The real Iris returns and gets arrested for being an accomplice to murder. Godot gets arrested. And Mia gets her lick back on Dahlia once again, even as a spirit. Oh, and of course Maya returns. But yeah, that's what happened. And I hope that made sense. The reason why I chose Misty to focus on in particular is because it never really clicked to me that Misty ended up faking being a children's author. Or maybe not technically, because I think she had a book out at this point, but she literally took on a whole other identity. And I just wonder, like, what was going through her mind that made her, obviously other than shame, that made her just want to leave and start over like this, and then come back to protect her daughter, which was amazing, but it's also like, wow. It just makes you think about people, as I said earlier. Like, why specifically a children's author? That's what I'm curious about. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but you get what I'm saying. Upon looking through all these cases, I have discovered what I love so much about this series and why these twists truly shocked me. This series has a message of not judging people by their outward appearances and how they present themselves, because honestly, we all have secrets that we're hiding. Of course, most people's secrets are not that they committed murder, but still, I believe this series teaches its players to not fall into the trap of desirability and to see things for what they are as much as they can. You never know what people are going through or what they're capable of. Now, I don't want this to give like a true crime fear-mongering vibe, so just in case that's what it feels like, the short version of this is to treat people with kindness and get to the truth. That's all I'm trying to say. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you for getting here. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments if you like. I've said it already in this video, but I am very open to corrections because there's a lot that happens in this series. Please be kind in them though, I'm on the more sensitive side. If you liked this video and my content, please consider subscribing and following my social media, which is linked in the description box. I got a bunch of new ideas for videos that I'm trying to get out. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good time wherever you are.